मंगल गिरिधर मधुरा मनोहर
मंगल गिरिधर मधुरा मनोहर
मंगल गिरिधर मधुरा मनोहर
मंगल गिरिधर मधुरा मनोहर
मीरा के प्रभु गिरिधर नागर
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 गिरिधारी गिरिधारी गोवर्धन गिरिधारी
गिरिधारी गिरिधारी गोवर्धन गिरिधारी
गिरिधारी गिरिधारी गोवर्धन गिरिधारी
गिरिधारी गिरिधारी गोवर्धन गिरिधारी
गिरिधारी गिरिधारी गोवर्धन गिरिधारी गिरिधारी
गिरिधारी गोवर्धन गिरिधारी
गिरिधारी गिरिधारी गोवर्धन गिरिधारी
गिरिधारी गिरिधारी गोवर्धन गिरिधारी
माधवा रघुकुलनादा
माधवाय धुकुलनाथा
माधवाय दुकुलनादा
माधवाय धुकुलनाथा
मुरली रास विलोला
मुरली रास विलोला
मुरली रास विलोला
मुरली रास विलोला
मंगल गिरिधर मधुरा मनोहर
मंगल गिरिधर मधुरा मनोहर
मीरा के प्रभु गिरिधर नागर
मीरा के प्रभु गिरिधर
नागर गिरिधारी गिरिधारी गोवर्धन गिरिधारी
गिरिधारी गिरिधारी गोवर्धन गिरिधारी
गिरिधारी गिरिधारी गोवर्धन गिरिधारी
गिरिधारी गिरिधारी गोवर्धन गिरिधारी
माधवा रघुकुलनादा
माधवाय धुकुलनाथा
मुरली रास विलोला
मुरली रास विलोला
मुरली रास विलोला
मुरली रास विलोला
मंगल
पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। श्री अम्बे अम्बे मात की जय। श्री कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की जय।
अम्मा कलेवानी ये तुझे दिए महादेवी। अम्मा कलेवानी, अम्मा कलेवानी, अम्मा कलेवानी ये तुझे दिए महादेवी। अम्मा कलेवानी, अम्मा कलेवानी। ओ दिवा माँ अम्मा ताये कलेवानी। ओ दिवा माँ अम्मा ताये कलेवानी। भजन से वो में ओ दिवा माँ, भजन से वो में आदिवा माँ। भजन से वो में ओ दिवा माँ, भजन से वो में आदिवा माँ। अम्मा कलेवानी ये तूने दिए महादेवी। अम्मा कलेवानी, अम्मा कलेवानी, अम्मा कलेवानी ये तूने दिए महादेवी। अम्मा कलेवानी, अम्मा कलेवानी। ओ दिवा माँ अम्मा ताये कलेवानी। ओ दिवा माँ अम्मा ताये कलेवानी। नमस्कारं सेवो ओ दिवा माँ, नमस्कारं सेवो आदिवा माँ। नमस्कारं सेवो ओ दिवा माँ, नमस्कारं सेवो आदिवा माँ। अम्मा कलेवानी ये तूने दिए महादेवी। अम्मा कलेवानी, अम्मा कलेवानी। ओ दिवा माँ अम्मा ताये कलेवानी। ओ दिवा माँ अम्मा ताये कलेवानी। भजन से वो में ओ दिवा माँ, भजन से वो में आदिवा माँ। भजन से वो में ओ दिवा माँ, भजन से वो में आदिवा माँ। अम्मा कलेवानी ये तूने दिए महादेवी। अम्मा कलेवानी, अम्मा कलेवानी, अम्मा कलेवानी ये तूने दिए महादेवी। अम्मा कलेवानी, अम्मा कलेवानी। ओ दिवा माँ अम्मा ताये कलेवानी। ओ दिवा माँ अम्मा ताये कलेवानी। नमस्कारं सेवो ओ दिवा माँ, नमस्कारं सेवो आदिवा माँ। नमस्कारं सेवो ओ दिवा माँ, नमस्कारं सेवो आदिवा माँ।
सरस्वती श्री दुर्गा मात की जय। कृष्ण कृष्ण मन मोहना चित चोर गोपी जीवना। कृष्ण कृष्ण मन मोहना चित चोर गोपी जीवना। कृष्ण कृष्ण मन मोहना चित चोर
મરજીથી દુનિયા ચાલે રે તારી મરજીથી દુનિયા ચાલે રે સૂરજ ચાંદો ને આ તારા તું કહે તેમ ચાલે રે તું કહે તેમ ચાલે રે તારી મરજીથી દુનિયા ચાલે રે તારી મરજીથી દુનિયા ચાલે રે ભૂમિ સાગર ને આવાયો તારી મરજીથી ચાલે રે તારી મરજીથી ચાલે રે તારી મરજીથી દુનિયા ચાલે રે તારી મરજીથી દુનિયા ચાલે રે તારી મરજીને જે નહીં સમજે તે જન દુખિયા થાવે રે તે જન દુખિયા થાવે રે તારી મરજીથી દુનિયા ચાલે રે તારી મરજીથી દુનિયા ચાલે રે ભક્તો તારી મરજીથી ચાલે તે જન સુખિયા થાવે રે તે જન સુખિયા થાવે રે તારી મરજીથી દુનિયા ચાલે રે તારી મરજીથી દુનિયા ચાલે રે સૂરજ ચાંદો ને આ તારા તું કહે તેમ ચાલે રે તું કહે તેમ ચાલે રે તારી મરજીથી દુનિયા ચાલે રે તારી મરજીથી દુનિયા ચાલે રે ભૂમિ સાગર ને આવાયો તારી મરજીથી ચાલે રે તારી મરજીથી ચાલે રે તારી મરજીથી દુનિયા ચાલે રે તારી મરજીથી દુનિયા ચાલે રે તારી મરજીને જે નહીં સમજે તે જન દુખિયા થાવે રે તે જન દુખિયા થાવે રે તારી મરજીથી દુનિયા ચાલે રે તારી મરજીથી દુનિયા ચાલે રે ભક્તો તારી મરજીથી ચાલે તે જન સુખિયા થાવે રે તે જન સુખિયા થાવે રે તારી મરજીથી દુનિયા ચાલે 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 રે ઓમ શ્રી રામ કૃષ્ણ ભગવાન કી જય
Om Namo Narayanaya, respected Pravajika Ishtaprana Mataji, dear sisters and brothers. This morning's reading is taken from the book Sri Ramakrishna, the personification of gods and goddesses, a Sri Ramakrishna Mutt, Chennai publication. The topic this morning is Sri Ramakrishna as Sri Chaitanya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is perhaps the greatest teacher of bhakti the world has ever known. Sri Chaitanya, also popularly known as Gauranga and Nimai, started his life as a Sanskrit scholar and teacher, but a visit to Gaya turned the course of his life. He renounced the world soon at the age of 24 and went on a pilgrimage to South India which lasted for 6 years. Chaitanya spent the last 18 years of his life at Puri, and made Jagannath the main deity of his cult of Krishna. Sri Ramakrishna was cast in the same spiritual mold of Sri Chaitanya, with the difference that the ecstatic devotion which the latter manifested exclusively towards Sri Krishna was manifested by the former towards all deities and avatars. There are numerous coincidences between these two great incarnations of God. Birth in Bengal in a Vaishnavite Brahmin family, significant association with the holy Vishnupada of Gaya, and constant spiritual ecstasy, especially in the later half of life. The Yogeshwari Bhairavi Brahmani, who arrived at Dakshineshwar in 1861, was the first to detect the unmistakable signs of the extremely rare spiritual state of Mahabhava in Sri Ramakrishna, and proclaimed him as the reincarnation of Sri Chaitanya. She diagnosed Sri Ramakrishna's condition as Mahabhava, brought about by extreme yearning for God, and prescribed that he would wear garlands and apply sandal paste on his body, just like Sri Chaitanya did in such a state. Sri Ramakrishna narrated to the Bhairavi a wonderful vision he had seen while going in a palanquin from Kamarpukur to Sihar in the year 1861. Two beautiful boys of a tender age came out of his body, walked merrily by the side of the palanquin for a long time, and then merged with his body again. The Bhairavi then said, "My child, what you have seen is all true. Chaitanya manifested this time in Nityananda's sheet. Nityananda and Chaitanya have come together this time and are both residing in one and the same receptacle." Sri Ramakrishna had a similar experience again at Navadip, the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya, when he went on a pilgrimage there along with Mathur Babu in the year 1870. He saw wooden images of Sri Chaitanya everywhere at Nadia and was disappointed. But on the return trip, Sri Ramakrishna again saw two divine boys in a vision, and he was getting into the boat. He saw two wonderful boys of incomparable beauty, with complexions of molten gold and with halos of light around their heads. They came running towards him in the sky and entered his body. This vision convinced Sri Ramakrishna beyond all doubt that Sri Chaitanya and his spiritual twin Sri Nityananda were both divine incarnations. In the year 1875, Sri Ramakrishna felt a strong desire to witness the wonderful Sankirtan of Sri Chaitanya and his followers, which the Divine Mother Kali fulfilled immediately. Standing outside his room, Thakur saw wonderful waves of devotees singing kirtan and dancing from the Panchavati to the main gate of the Dakshineshwar temple, who all then disappeared behind a tree. He saw Sri Chaitanya with his companions Nityananda and Advaita on the other side. They were all in high states of spiritual ecstasy. Some people lost all control over themselves in their divine bliss, and some danced wildly. Sri Ramakrishna himself told Narendra repeatedly that he, Thakur, was Chaitanya incarnate. Narendranath related to Sharad, Swami Sharadananda, his own spiritual experiences in this regard. Naren burst out with this Bengali song. Sri Chaitanya distributes the wealth of his love. Nitechan calls, "Come, come, come, O you who long to have it." Jarfuls of love are being poured out, yet it does not get exhausted. Shantipur is being flooded, and Nadia is swept off. Nadia is swept off by the current of Gora's love. Narendra then said gently, he, Sri Ramakrishna, is actually distributing love. Gora Ray is bestowing love, devotion, divine knowledge, liberation on whomsoever he likes. Oh, the wonderful power! Regarding the spiritual experiences of Sri Chaitanya, Sri Ramakrishna has said Chaitanya Deva used to experience three spiritual states: the superconscious, the semi-conscious, and the conscious. Sri Ramakrishna stayed at Natwar Goswami's house for 7 days and enjoyed the bliss of Sankirtan with the Vaishnavas of Shyam Bazar. People heard about the wonderful experiences of Thakur, and then the news spread fast that a man died and came to life several times in a day. People then forgot food and sleep, and in the anxiety to see Sri Ramakrishna, climbed up trees and got onto rooftops of houses. They became mad with celestial bliss and rushed to see Sri Ramakrishna and touch his feet, as if he were Sri Chaitanya himself. In the year 1870, Sri Ramakrishna visited the Hari Sabha in Calcutta to hear the reading of the Bhagavata, the foremost Vaishnava scripture. The members of the Hari Sabha regarded themselves as having taken refuge in Sri Chaitanya's holy feet. A separate seat called Sri Chaitanya's seat was kept there, decorated with flowers. The devotees sincerely believed that Sri Chaitanya was present in spirit in that seat while the Bhagavata was read. Therefore, nobody was allowed to occupy that seat. Sri Ramakrishna was welcomed with great joy at the Hari Sabha on his arrival there. He lost himself in ecstasy while the Bhagavata was read. Suddenly he ran towards the seat of Sri Chaitanya, stood on it with uplifted hands, and was lost in profound ecstasy. The devotees felt as if Sri Chaitanya himself was standing there before them in the form of Sri Ramakrishna. They also became ecstatic and began singing devotional songs. They all sang and danced for a long time. Jadu Malik's mother had a motherly attitude towards Sri Ramakrishna as Vatsalya Bhava, as Mother Yashoda had for her baby Gopala. One day at Jadu Malik's house, the old lady was seated on a carpet in front of Sri Ramakrishna, who was eating a plateful of assorted sweets given by her. The master was behaving like a 5-year-old boy. The old lady said to Sri Ramakrishna, "My son, many years ago I read in Sri Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita about how Sri Chaitanya's mother used to feed her son. Since then, I would think that if I could be Chaitanya's mother, I could feed him. What great fortune I have today. My son, I never dreamed that you would come today and fulfill my cherished desire." Saying this, the old woman wept as she fed Sri Ramakrishna with her own hand. To illustrate Sri Chaitanya's spiritual mood, Sri Ramakrishna gives the analogy of the elephant, which has 2 sets of teeth, the tusks outside and the grinders inside. The elephant's tusks are readily seen by others, but the grinders are not. Similarly, Sri Chaitanya manifested bhakti outside, though inwardly he was a great jnani. Like Sri Gauranga, Thakur was also bhakti outside and all jnana within. He was cast in the same spiritual mold of Sri Chaitanya, with the difference that his devotion was not confined to Krishna. If Sri Chaitanya renewed the Krishna ideal, Sri Ramakrishna has renewed all spiritual ideals, including the Chaitanya ideal. Sri Ramakrishna's practice of Sri Chaitanya's path of Madhura Bhava and his spiritual experiences concerning the latter have opened new channels and fresh pastures for the spread of Sri Chaitanya's gospel of love. Perhaps this is the significance of Sri Chaitanya's second coming in Bengal in this age in the divine person of Bhagwan Sri Ramakrishna. May Sri Ramakrishna and Lord Chaitanya Bless us with divine love at the lotus feet of the Lord. Om Shanti.
Om Jai Ganesha Gananath Dayanidhi Sakhala Vighan Kara Dura Hamare Mama Vandana स्वीकार करो प्रभु चरण शरण हम आए तुम्हारे जय गणेश गणनाथ दयानिधि जय नंदलाला जय गोपाला
जय नंदलाला जय गोपाला
जय नंदलाला जय जय श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजने हरि का प्यारा नाम है
श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजने हरि का प्यारा नाम है
गोपाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है नंदलाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है
गोपाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है नंदलाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है
जय नंदलाला जय गोपाला
जय नंदलाला जय गोपाला
मोर मुकुट सिर गल बनमाला केसर तिलक लगाए केसर तिलक लगाए
मोर मुकुट सिर गल बनमाला केसर तिलक लगाए केसर तिलक लगाए
वृंदावन के कुंच गलिन में सबको नाच नचावे
ओहो
सबको नाच नचावे श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजने हरि का प्यारा नाम है
श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजने हरि का प्यारा नाम है
जय नंदलाला जय गोपाला
जय नंदलाला जय गोपाला
यमुना किनारे देनु चरावे माधव मदन मुरारे माधव मदन मुरारे
यमुना किनारे धेनु चरावे माधव मदन मुरारी माधव मदन मुरारी
मधुरा मुरलिया चबी बजावे हर ले सुध बुध सारी
ओहो हर ले सुध बुध सारी
श्री राधे गोविंदा बन भजने हरि का प्यारा नाम है
श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजने हरि का प्यारा नाम है
गोपाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है नंदलाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है
गोपाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है नंदलाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है
जय नंदलाला जय गोपाला
जय नंदलाला जय गोपाला
गिरधर नागर कहते मीरा सूर को श्यामल बाया सूर को श्यामल बाया
गिरधर नागर कहते मीरा सूर को श्यामल भाया सूर को श्यामल भाया
तुकाराम और नाम देव ने वित्तल वित्तल गाया
ओहो विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गाया
श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजने हरि का प्यारा नाम है
श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजने हरि का प्यारा नाम है
जय नंदलाला जय गोपाला
जय नंदलाला जय गोपाला
राधा शक्ति बिना न कोई श्यामल दर्शन पावे श्यामल दर्शन पावे
राधा शक्ति बिना न कोई श्यामल दर्शन पावे श्यामल दर्शन पावे
आराधन करे राधे राधे काना बागे आवे
ओहो कान्हा भागे आवे
श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजने हरि का प्यारा नाम है
श्री राधे गोविंदा
गोपाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है, नंदलाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है।
गोपाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है, नंदलाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है।
जय नंदलाला जय गोपाला,
जय नंदलाला जय गोपाला,
जय नंदलाला जय गोपाला,
जय नंदलाला जय गोपाला।
ओम श्री राम कृष्ण भगवान की जय। अधरं मधुरं वदनं मधुरं नयनं मधुरं हसितं मधुरं हृदयं मधुरं कमलं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरं वचनं मधुरं चरितं मधुरं वसनं मधुरं वलितं मधुरं चलितं मधुरं रमितं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरं वेणुर्मधुरोर्वेणुर्मधुरं पाणिर्मधुरा पादो मधुरो नृत्यं मधुरं सत्यं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरं गीतं मधुरं गीतं मधुरं भोक्तं मधुरं सुखं मधुरं रूपं मधुरं तिलकं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरं करणं मधुरं तरणं मधुरं हरणं मधुरं रमणं मधुरं वमितं मधुरं शमितं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरं कुञ्जा मधुरा माला मधुरा यमुना मधुरा वीची मधुरा सलिलं मधुरं कमलं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरं गोपी मधुरा लीला मधुरा योक्तं मधुरं मोक्तं मधुरं दृष्टं मधुरं श्रेष्ठं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरं गोपा मधुरा गावो मधुरा यष्टिर्मधुरा सृष्टिर्मधुरा दलितं मधुरं फलितं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरम्। ओम श्री राम कृष्ण भगवान की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। श्री अम्बे अम्बे मात की जय। श्री कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की जय।
Om Namo Narayanaya, dear sisters and brothers. It is important to sit quietly for a few moments every day and try to think of God. Sri Ramakrishna says, just as you practice much in order to sing, dance, or play on instruments, so you should practice the art of fixing the mind on God. One should practice regularly such disciplines as worship, japa, and meditation. May God bless us with a mind that is keen to repeat His name and be happy in His holy company. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु, सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते, पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम तत्सत्। जय श्री गुरु महाराज की जय, महामाय की जय, स्वामी जी महाराज की जय, गंगा मात की जय, महावीर स्वामी जी की जय, सर्व ऋषि मुनियों की जय, पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव की